Morning, morning, everyone. I hope that you are all well. Uh, and yeah, we are on the mend. Not quite there yet, but nonetheless, we're on the mend. So there is Parshas Kedoshim is replete with mitzvot and commandments, and very much all about the interpersonal relationships. And one of the things that's fascinating is that we're told that we should surely rebuke our neighbor. And that is juxtaposed to lo samad adam re'echa, that you shouldn't stand idly by the blood of your brother. And that means, of course, that there is a relationship and connection between the two. In other words, it's not just in physical terms that we're not allowed to ignore the plight of our brother, but also this spiritual impoverishment. So therefore, if somebody is doing something that they shouldn't and they don't know better, then it's for us to point out, to correct them, to tell them, do you know that you're not allowed to do that? But what's interesting, and as pointed out by Rabbi Mordechai Kamenetsky, is at the end of the verse it says that you shall not bear upon them the sin. And the question is, why do we need those extra words? And he shares with us a fascinating story. The story goes back to the time of the Chofetz Chaim pre-war. Just say good morning, Estelle, Clarice, and all those that are joining us. And the Chofetz Chaim would have to travel from town to town, village to village, to sell his, to raise money and to sell his books, which of course became classics. And he arrived at an inn one day, and he noticed this rather burly man. There was a whole hen that was sitting on his plate, and there was a large pint of ale in his glass. And all of a sudden, this man, to the amazement of the Chofetz Chaim, grabbed the hen and ate the whole hen. Ate the whole hen in a couple of bites, and then after that, he washed it down with the ale. So the Chofetz Chaim turned to the innkeeper and said to him, "Listen, I've never seen anything quite like it. Who is this man?" So he said that he was a Cantonist, who for 15 years, from the age of 11, had been grabbed by the Russians, by the Tsar, and by the army. And he had been snatched away from his family, and he became a complete ignoramus. He was very removed, as all the Cantonists were, from their Judaism. He said, "I don't think he keeps anything anymore, maybe a bit of kashrus, that's all." So the Chofetz Chaim went over and sat next to him, and he looked at the man. He said to him, "I've got to tell you, I am in absolute awe of you. You know, I can't believe what you've been through, and the fact that you still keep kosher is extraordinary." And the Chofetz Chaim started to cry. He started to cry in awe of this man, and about the fact that he was still Jewish, despite the fact that the communists had tried to wipe everything. Well, as a Cantonist, the Tsar had tried to wipe everything out of them. And long story short, the man kissed the hand of the Chofetz Chaim, and the Chofetz Chaim said to him, I think with the right tutelage, you could actually become a great Jewish sage. I think you have the capability to learn and to develop. You just haven't had the opportunity." And the story goes that, in fact, these words melted the heart of this Cantonist, this ex-soldier, and he turned his ways and he learned, and he became a student of the Chofetz Chaim, of the saintly Chofetz Chaim. And what perhaps, as Rabbi Kamenetsky points out, we are being taught and instructed, is that the idea of giving rebuke and correcting somebody and telling somebody, you know what, that's not what you're doing, is not quite right, is not to make the person feel bad or for them to feel a burden of sin. That's what the Torah is telling us not to do. It's that afterwards they should feel emboldened, they should feel empowered, they should feel motivated to make the necessary changes in their lives. That is the message. So it's a clarion call and challenge, as we've mentioned before, for us, each and every one of us, to be able to help others. We can't stand idly by. There are people, however little we feel, or we may feel that we know, and who are we, what are we to make changes and to improve people and to help people? We've all got something to offer and something to give. You'd be amazed how knowledgeable you and we all are. And therefore, the idea is that by encouraging people or offering them opportunities to get involved one way or the other, then rather than them being resistant, they may actually step out of the comfort zone and try it. Just try it this once. Come along. We're doing a chesed program. We're doing this. We're doing that. Why don't you join me? I think you'd be great. I think you'd make a big difference. All of a sudden, the person feels that they are valued, that they have a purpose, that they have a mission, and therefore we will change the hearts and minds of many. Wishing you all well. Have a great day. Please, God, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.